Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In this episode of The Missing Survivors, we are going to be talking about the character of Paul, played by Wyatt Russell. But before we begin, I want to let you know that this video contains spoilers for both The Walking Dead TV series and The Walking Dead: The Oath. Now with all that said, let's begin. Paul first appeared in The Walking Dead: The Oath, episode 1, Alone. The story starts off at a camp that is getting attacked. There we meet two characters, Paul and Karina. They escape the camp and we then see them look for a car. While they are searching for a car, Karina notices a bad cut on Paul and he says that he cut himself when running from the walkers. After they find a car, Paul starts getting dazed, so Karina decides to drive to a hospital to find medical supplies for Paul, who at this point is unconscious. Karina drives to multiple hospitals, but all of them are in bad shape. Eventually she does find a decent enough hospital and puts Paul in a wheelchair while looking for supplies. A walker gets into the hospital and tries to attack Karina and Paul, but before the walker gets them, they are saved by a doctor. Her name is Gail Marcones. She helps Paul by patching up his wounds. After Paul is patched up but still unconscious, Gail and Karina walk into the hallway and begin getting to know each other. Karina talks about her group that were attacked at the camp, and Gail talks about how the hospital went into chaos and that people were trying to get medical supplies. She also talks about how her and her assistant hid in a storage closet but were found and her assistant got pulled out. When Gail and Karina return to the room, Gail says that Paul's body is beginning to shut down. She then puts him on a stretcher and brings him into the cafeteria of the hospital. Gail then locks the door. Paul then wakes up and realizes he's strapped to a stretcher and he's in a room full of walkers that are coming right for him. We see Karina talking to Gail about a man she shot because she thought he was a walker, and that she left the man's child in the woods alone. She then says that because of doing that, her punishment is that she's going to die alone, like the child in the woods. Karina then pulls out her revolver, saying it's a shame you can't prescribe bullets. Gail then explains that she can provide another way. We then see Paul in the room full of walkers, and after a struggle he manages to get out of the cafeteria, but before he escapes he takes a gun that belonged to one of the walkers he killed. While this is going on, we see Gail talk about how when she was in the storage closet and her assistant got pulled out, Gail handed her a vial. Gail then talks about how she can help people that don't want to live in the apocalypse by giving them a way out. Karina at this point wants to die because she thinks Paul is dead and that she will be alone. So Karina lets Gail inject her. We didn't see Paul enter the room and he's happy to see Karina, but unfortunately it is too late as Karina has already been injected and is now dying. After Karina dies, Paul angrily begins to ask the doctor questions, and after Gail tries to explain why she did it, Paul then raises his gun at her. We don't see if Paul kills the doctor or not, and after that scene we see Paul spray painting the famous words, "Don't open, dead inside," on the cafeteria doors. And then we see him wait for Karina to come back as a walker, and when she does, Paul pulls out her teeth and binds her arms, and then they get into the car they found earlier. This is the last time we see Paul. So, what happened to Paul after the web series? One theory people have is that the car Paul drives is the same one Shane finds on the highway in The Walking Dead Season 2, but after looking at the license plates for both cars, I can say that they are not the same car. Paul taking out Karina's teeth is very similar to what the governor did in The Walking Dead, which is pretty interesting, and while that doesn't give an answer to where he is, I thought it was something worth pointing out. Maybe he became a bad person like the governor? One of the ways I could imagine seeing Paul again is if Scott Gimple wanted to bring the character onto one of the shows, or if he made a new series that featured that character either as a reoccurring character or as a main character. Other than that, there really isn't much to say. Personally, I would love to see the character again, as he was interesting, likable, and the actor did a great job of portraying him. So I would be happy if he returned. Anyway, that is pretty much everything I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you all for watching. Peace out.